Here we go. Welcome to another vegan bro science video. We're gonna have a look at Geoffrey Kamworor's half marathon world record before we quickly forget about it with everything that's been going on in the marathon world. Lots of records tumbling down and stuff. The day before he set his world record, I had a look at his Instagram account, and he posted some of his runs, training runs. He just looked relaxed, comfortable, joking about. He was with Kenyan Kipkorir, Eliud Kipchoge's right hand man, and we can see Kipkorir there on the right hand of the screen. He's not in pace-making outfit, so I don't think he was a pacemaker on the day. I think he had actually set out to race himself. I'm not quite sure. Looks like the pacemakers there are the guys in green and blue, who Geoffrey Kamworor later goes on to drop. Now, early on, Kamworor had qualified for the 10,000 meter world champs in Doha, which he later declined to take part in. He had beaten the junior Ronix Kipruto into second place, and at the world championships, first place was Joshua Cheptegei Yomif Kejalcha, followed by Ronix Kipruto. Now, Cheptegei had earlier on beaten Kamworor towards the end of March in the World Cross Country Championships, which Kamworor had won last year when Cheptegei suddenly hit the wall towards the end. So this year Kamworor came third to Cheptegei. So it was Cheptegei first, Ugandan, followed by Jacob Kiplimo, another Ugandan, and then Geoffrey Kamworor. Okay, so we see the race. Just it's the Copenhagen half marathon. Around about, what are we looking at? The months are flying by so quick. I can't even. What are we now? End of October. So this was around September. Say mid-September, somewhere there, about a month ago. Kamworor, after qualifying for the 10,000 meter Doha Athletics World Champs, later declined to race and chose to do the half marathon instead. And like I said, on his Instagram account, he made no announcement, kind of like no intention. There was no big deal. Normally guys would announce, I am going for my personal best, or I'm going for the world record, set up the pacemakers. Nothing of that sort was announced by Geoffrey Kamworor, and you can see by the pace that they just set out. I think his fellow compatriots knew what he wanted to do, because you can see Kenyan Kipkorir was probably sacrificed himself as a pawn. He's been a very, 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 very busy pacemaker, this Kenyan Kipkorir. I really do like him. That's him on the right hand side. Tall, lanky, his knees come up very high, and he stamps the ground, pounds the ground. Ta, 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 ta. You need to see him in action, in the flesh, in full flow. He's a distraction to who you're trying to watch. If you're trying to watch Eliud Kipchoge, you're gonna notice Kenyan Kipkorir. Trust me, because he's pulling the wagon. As a pacemaker, this guy pulls a wagon. And we seen in Eliud Kipchoge's breaking 2 that he was, again, Eliud Kipchoge's right-hand man. He wasn't the captain, but he was on Eliud Kipchoge's right side at the back. So Eliud Kipchoge knew his buddy was there. Yeah. So they've all settled in. They're running at a pretty fast pace. No signs when I watched this race that this was going to be a world record. And somewhere along the way you can see Valentin Detru, who is Eliud Kipchoge's manager, Geoffrey Kamworor's manager. He's one of the guys on the yellow bikes. He's quite a tall guy actually. And what I noticed is that he's got his seat quite low. So throughout the race, he's working very hard. If you don't have your seat at the right height, then you're using most of the muscles close to your knees. And you're going to be working pretty hard to keep up with these guys. So you can see him in his seat every now and then sliding forward and adjusting himself, moving backwards. And it must be an absolute pleasure. I remember once during the All Africa Games, when they came to Zimbabwe, I followed them. I was in front following them around the course. Nicholas Nengerai went on to win that race. And I can still clearly remember that morning. It was good. All Africa Games had selected Zimbabweans to be their host. And the triathlon had come to my city, the half marathon had come to my city. And I remember I had been watching other overseas races where people are on their bicycles, and I said to myself, when that race comes to town, I'm going to be the one on the bike doing that. And for the whole race, I was where the time clock would be, in front of the runners. I followed them the whole way, right in front, and nobody said anything to me. And I was on the road itself, right in front of the runners. Shame that I didn't have a camera way back then. It was mid-90s, somewhere around there, when the All Africa Games came to Zimbabwe. And those athletes were something else. The time was nowhere near what Geoffrey Kamworor ran today, but just watching their speed, and Nicholas Nengerai ran that 21 kilometers barefoot. Yep, he done a Zola Bud. And yeah, it was an absolutely amazing race to watch. So we see that the pacemakers are kind of like not quite at the front of this race. They all lined up on the left hand side, and it's the short guy in front. I'm not quite sure what his name is. He's gonna be the guy that takes Geoffrey kind of like up to halfway, and then they kind of like look at each other, and then he peels off. So what I'm gonna do in this video is kind of like kick back and let Geoffrey Kamworor's legs do the talking for him, and then every now and then when the commentators have something I think special that they need to say, I'll let them say it noticeably. The one part where they talk about Geoffrey Kamworor's breakfast on the morning of the race. Okay, so give me your thoughts and comments and criticisms on what you thought and how you thought this race turned out to be. Crazy that he knocked off 18 seconds off Abraham Kiptum's time, eh? When Zesene Tedesi set his world record, I never thought anybody was going to come along for a while. And then Abraham Kiptum came out of nowhere, absolutely nowhere, and he only took 5-6 seconds off Zesene Tedesi's time, and for Geoffrey Kamworor to come along and smash it by 18 seconds. Personally, between the three races, I really liked Abraham Kiptum's effort, his running technique, we were in for a really, really special runner there if he had not been caught doing what he's done.
We have reached the 5 kilometer mark, Jeff, and the first guys there was running in 13 minutes and 51 seconds. That's just 2 seconds out of the pace that Abraham Kiptum had when he had the course record here at 58.50. Wasn't done that well, Jeff.
It was very ragged, wasn't it, the manoeuvre around that right-hand turn. It's not a particularly technical course. The outline, I think only one person agreed with me at that technical meeting, but it was Kamworor's agent. The outline is rather similar to Bart Simpson's Head, if you look at it as a course. So you have sections of about 1 to 2 kilometres in a straight line, but never much longer than that.
And if you watch the flags on the screen now, you can see that they have the wind against them, headwind. And as you all know, it's tough winds today. That means something too for the speeds. They are at Frederiksberg, Falconer Allé. Not for the shopping. They don't have time for that.
So we just heard that they were running into a headwind. Not too sure how fast that was, the headwind. The little pacemaker has come to the front, and the others just can't get to the front. Guy in the black and white vest who ends up trying to give chase to with Kamworor. He's kind of like taking small choppy strides. Could do with a little bit of a knee lift. another one in there, again black and white. He's running kind of strange as well. I can't see too good from here, but they are absolutely shifting gear. The little man in front has got his foot flat, kind of like reminds me of the same guy that paced Eliud Kipchoge. Was it 2018, 2019? Was it this year? It was last year actually. Yeah, it was last year, I think it was.
Well, I can tell you that we've still got a few hundred starters still to come at 11:38, 25 minutes in, all getting a smooth run across the start line. And the good news is, if you're starting now, there is a special bonus prize. It is a Porsche motor car. It's been kindly donated by my colleague Morton. If any of you can catch Geoffrey Kamworor at this stage, that's all you've got to do to win the Porsche. Good luck.
And Geoffrey Kamworor, he doesn't attend any of the bars here at Frederiksberg. They're good. That's good bars, Jeff. You should try them. Yes.
I'm looking for my burger bar on the return run. That's a nice one. We'll point that out. Well, that pacemaking effort has been shredded, hasn't it? Because there's only one runner now with a designated pacemaker bib that I can see. All the others are yellow backed with individual runner numbers. So it's just this one guy to try and carry it through the next almost 7 kilometers. That's a tall order.
And only 7 guys left in the pack. Geoffrey Kamworor in second position. They are at Frederiksberg Allé, this very nice area in Frederiksberg. And you see there's a little football there, the Euro 2020. That's for us to hold here in Denmark. Please note that too.
And the guy in the beard just going out of the shot on the left is Valentin Dutroux, who is Kamworor's manager from Global Sports. And he spent a lot of time in Vienna setting up the pacemaking for that 1:59 effort.
Guys came around the corner like they were on motorbikes, man. Knees almost touching the ground. That's it. I think the pacemaker is about to give up now. Indicated to Kamworor that it's all his. There you go. Kamworor takes over. Look at that lean into that bend as he came around. Absolutely falling forward. Lately I've been watching quite a lot of videos from Khalid Kanuchi. Remember the Moroccan Khalid Kanuchi? Moved to America, trained in Albuquerque, set the world record in Chicago 1999, and then again in London when he beat the favorite Gebre Selassie into third place and Paul Tergat into second. I think that was one of the only times I seen Paul Tergat beat Gebre Selassie. But yeah, I wasn't expecting Khalid Kanuchi to to smash. Haley was the favorite in that race. Now just have a look at Geoffrey Kamworor's stride. I mean, that's a sprint, that man. It's just crazy. He's got his elbows splayed out, kind of like in self-defense, as if he's ready to elbow the next track runner next to him. It's just his natural running style. The guy in second is got some choppy strides going on. But yeah, Khalid Kanuchi, what happened to him? After he got his American citizenship and broke the world record, that was it. Don't hear much from the Moroccan runners these days, do we? We had Harib and Gumri.
Geoffrey Kamworor actually drinking here. You didn't think that would happen?
I'm amazed at that because I think at the technical meeting, the marathon is different, where they prepare special drinks, they're carbohydrate based, but with the best will in the world, he's going to be out there for 58 or 59 minutes on a cool day in Northern Europe. I wonder if that's just a little bit of anxiety and tension for him, or just the need at this midpoint of a bit of an energy kick.
But maybe he's got hold of the very famous drink that the bike riders are taking now in the Tour de France, that actually was developed for the American Air Force and the NASA programs. They're using it and it's legal.
Kamworor was winding across the road a bit there, losing his racing line.
A kilometre and a half, he's opened up 10 or 15 seconds, so it's exciting. This is our hotel area they're going past here. We were on the next door dining table to Kamworor at breakfast.
Yeah.
What did he have? Not croissant like me, I don't think.
He had some porridge, which was quite something that I'm not used to seeing, because they usually just eat a lot of white bread and fruit and drink tea with lots and lots and lots and lots of sugar, because they usually just eat a lot of white bread and fruit and drink tea with lots and lots and lots and lots of sugar, because they usually just eat a lot of white bread and fruit and drink tea with lots and lots and lots and lots of sugar.
Drop the mic. Carb up. Carbophobes. Carbs make you fat, eh? I'd like to see the keto diet give us an answer, or push forward their athlete that's on keto or paleo or primal or Atkins or Dodo or Dukan or Cambridge. Yeah, give us an athlete that's gonna break a world record like this, just on low carb, no sugar, no carbs, please. Tim Noakes, show us something, we're waiting.
41.30 would be world record pace. I think he's going to be inside that. We'll look for the little matting with the timing chip cabling underneath it.
this is actually the actual place where he won the World Championships in 2014.
Yes.
So he's gonna have fond memories of this area. And now we are approaching the 15-kilometer mark.
This is 10K now. 41.03. Wow. So he's 27 seconds inside world record schedule. So he is through 15 kilometers. We were looking for it on screen, and I think it was before the cameras picked up on him.
This is actually a crazy time. 41 minutes and 3 seconds for the 15-kilometer mark. And this is a Kenyan grinning. He's working so hard. If he can keep up this pace, he's going to be well under 58 minutes. This, ladies and gents, this is history being written here in Copenhagen. We need you to cheer for this guy all over the city for the last 5-6 kilometers. Please remember that when he won the World Championships in Valencia, he finished the last 5 kilometers in 13 minutes and 1 second. This is a very, very fast guy.
So think about this, around the world, around Europe, around the USA, in the Far East, in Oceania, how many millions of half marathons have ever been run? And at the moment we are looking not only at a world record, but at the first man ever to go under 58 minutes. And he seems to have rallied. You can't see his teeth now. He's got his composure back around the jawline. His breathing is settled. Have your cameras ready, because this is going to be very special. If he holds it together, it will be the fastest marathon, half marathon ever seen. Of the athletics world are on this amazing run by Geoffrey Kamworor. You can see the road surface is wet around that part of town. Let's hope the conditions don't slow him down at all in these last 5 kilometers, because this has been very brave. He didn't need the pacemakers for more than a third of the distance. Has been recalibrated. That's the precise time, and it means that we are perhaps around 12 minutes away from a bit of half marathon history.
A little more actually to go for Geoffrey.
Looks like he's accelerating, doesn't it, at the moment? Looks like he's starting his finishing sprint. measurer, Maurice, just behind him, who got up at 7 o'clock this morning on his bike with his measuring wheel just to ratify it again, just in case he was measuring a world record course, and it looks like he was. super half of Copenhagen. What's it going to be? It's going to be just outside 58 minutes. A world record to Kamworor.
All that on a high carb, high sugar, low fat, low protein diet, my friends.
Geoffrey Kamworor, world record!
And you did it the hard way. You took it on for more than half the distance on your own. Was it tough?
The weather was not so favorable, but to me, I was really prepared and I was aiming a record. Yeah.
And how does it compare to your world titles? To be the fastest man in history over the distance, that must surely top a world title.
Actually, I won many titles, but always my fans always tell me that you are the one to break the record, and I always told them time will come. And actually, this was the time. I met the team with the World Championship 10,000, but I decided to skip to focus on this race because I was aiming something special, and that's really happened. I thank God.
Well, post your comments, criticisms, likes, dislikes down below. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video.
We were on the next door dining table to Kamworor at breakfast.
Yeah.
What did he have? Not croissant like me, I don't think.
He had some porridge, which was quite something that I'm not used to seeing, because they usually just eat a lot of white bread and fruit and drink tea with lots and lots and lots and lots of sugar.
Come on, my brother.